Hello YouTube! Today I will be making a video of a Yinglong batteries, how they perform, what I have here, how do you connect them and that sort of stuff. This was asked video, so thank you for asking. If you want more English content, what kind of content I'll try to make for you English viewers. But here let's dig into this Yinglong battery that I have here. So I have actually two broken ones, these ones here. These two are broken ones, and I will be explaining how I found out why they were broken and how I try to fix them. I don't know if it works, but I'm testing it out. And how do you make a lithium battery bank with a this battery management system. Sorry, it's early today, so I'm drinking coffee here and I'm trying to explain as good as possible everything about Yinglong that I know so far. Now, I'm not a electronic specialist. I'm in a car audio business myself, and I'm building my cars with a latest technology, and I like to use this kind of new capacitors and Yinglong lithium batteries. And what's the difference between Yinglong and Winston lithium iron phosphate batteries and lithium polymer batteries. Enough with the talk, let's dig into this. So, first of all, these are a Yinglong 66160H 40 amperage hour 2.3 volts. Now, if you want to make a battery bank out of these, you need 5 to 6 of them. I prefer 6, but probably 5 is fine. So why do you need so many? It's only 2.3 volts. So if you are using in parallel, like these are in parallel, you double the capacity. Now, this is a 40 amperage hour, this is a 40 amperage hour. If you are using plus, plus, minus, minus, so you are using it like this, you are doubling the amount of capacity, but the voltage does not go up. Now, this should be a 80 amperage hour 2.3 volts. Now, this is actually connected in series, but you understand that if I have plus plus here and negative negative here and connect from these to minus and these to positive, you have 80 amperage hour. Now, making a battery bank out of these, you need to connect them in series. Series means that you have I have negative here, I have positive here, and then I have again negative on this side. Where is it? It's underneath there. Negative. So you are putting them in positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative. I'm taking this off here so I can show you better. Now, positive, negative, positive, negative. Now, when you connect them like so, you will be having the double of the voltage of your system. Now, with one 2.3 volt cell, you'll be adding another. You have 4.6 volts from here to here, but you still have 2.3 volts from here to here and from here to here. Now, with the battery management system that I have here, this costs around 100 euros, 100 US dollars. This has a little schematic here that shows how it will be connected, and this is actually much easier to see from here that it has battery 1 negative, battery 1 positive, second positive, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. Now, what does a battery management do with these kind of batteries? Now, first of all, while you are using cells in your system, you need to balance them out. If you have multiple cells, like these are 12 cells, so 6 cells in series, you will be having some issues between the individual cells in the system. Now, with using this kind of batteries, even if it's LiPo, lithium polymer, lithium iron phosphate, it doesn't matter. If you're using a 18650, these small lithium cells, what you use in electronic cigarette, the same idea, the same principle. The same principle goes in normal AGM batteries. They have 2-volt cells, and there's 6 of them cells in series inside a normal AGM battery. Same goes to capacitors, Maxwell supercapacitors, limitless lithium, whatever. All of them uses cells. Now with the battery management system, you connect the one first minus on the minus side, which is the minus terminal of the whole battery, and the last positive is the last positive, so it's the positive terminal of the whole system. Between those you will have the highest voltage. Now between every cell you connect the wires, so this system knows that it has the first battery minus and positive between here. It sees the voltage of this cell. Now the next one will check out battery 1 positive and battery 2 positive, which is battery 2 positive and battery 3 positive. And it sees these cells negative and positive post. So it sees the voltage of this one. And it goes on and on and on. So you can have all of the batteries positives and one negative. So you can check every cell's individually, so you can see the cell voltage. Now this tries to balance it out. What it means, if you have a, let's say, 2.3 volts here, 2.5 volts here, 1.9 volts here, and this is like 2.3 also. So these cells are different than these. So when you are charging the system, the one with the highest voltage, it will try to cut it down by driving the amperage, draining the battery, draining the cell into a resistor inside here. So it tries to balance it out by draining the cells that are the highest voltage and not doing anything on the cells that are the lowest voltage. Now when you leave this on, it will say like it will beep all the time. It will has a kind of annoying sound when this is on, and it goes on when you connect it from between here. It just goes on and it will play this high-pitched noise all the time. Now that's normal, and I think these were a 10 amp draining resistors inside here, so you can basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60 amps these can drain out. So with a normal alternator, normal charger in your car, this is probably a bit too small, but it will work perfectly because of reasons I'm not going to explain now. Sorry about that. But using a battery balancer is usually best to balance it out every once in a while, or when you leave the system on charge for a long time. Now using a daily driver, I'm told that it's not recommended to use balancer. Because the alternator will always see some kind of drainage, and it will always feed some amperage into the system. So when you are not using this, they will go as high as possible on the voltage side, and then they start to internally raise the resistance, so it will not drain any more amperage as they were completely empty. Now, so you use this only when you plug it in a wall charger and leave it on for a night. So they can balance it out on all the night, because draining 10 amps from this kind of battery is really, really slow. So, and these balance each other out really nicely. Now, overcharging lithium is dangerous, and cutting the voltage too low is dangerous. Now, short circuit is also dangerous, but the lithium titanate batteries, LTO, lithium titanate oxide, I think it was, are the safest one around at the moment. Now, probably the, what is it called, solid state batteries are gonna be better, but these are so far the best as you can protect your car from damage. Now, using a normal Winston, lithium iron phosphate or lithium polymer batteries, LiPo, you will probably go into some well, not dangerous, but you have always the possibility of a fire inside your car. Because if you have a, let's say, now that went down, if you have some kind of puncture inside your, like car crash, you have puncture in your lithium, it will short out internally, and then it will exponentially, like, not explode, but lithium polymer batteries will turn into fire. They will swallow up and turn into fire. And the actual lithium technology inside, it will produce its own oxygen for the burning process. So it will not, like, if you are using water or something to take out the fire, it will not go down. Even if you dump it inside water, it will not go down. So with these lithium titanate batteries, if you puncture, nothing will happen. Dead simple. Nothing will happen. These are quite interesting technology inside. I will not go too deep inside here. I want this video to be quite easy to understand, and just a little scratch from the lithium technology. Now, if you overcharge this, it will not explode, but open and release the pressure from inside the battery. Every lithium battery will expand, and some kind of burst of internal fluids will come out. It will probably make some smoke. Lithium iron phosphate will expand exponentially, break inside, and then it will just burst out a lot of smoke. And if you are using, let's say, I've seen a video where somebody put a wall socket charger, like from here inside to charge the lithium batteries. It turned out to be a really bad idea, and it exploded. Hopefully guy who made it, I saw the video, who was trying to cut it down, survived, but it looked really dangerous. Now the lithium polymer is even more dangerous, so I will be suggesting in this video, do not even test lithium polymer batteries, because having a big bank of 40 amps from lithium polymer, it will be really dangerous. Lithium iron phosphate, much better. Lithium titanate, the best. Now, when you are trying to charge and overcharge, discharge, if you discharge, it will go roughly the same as overcharging. It will smoke and release gases. Now, what kind of voltage you need to be taken care of when you are using this kind of technology? So I just went and downloaded and printed out this GVL Power, which is main distributor, I think, main distributor of brand new cells in Europe at the moment. But as an example, Alexei Grigorienko has a lot of these cells in Estonia. So hit him up, send him a message from me, tell hi if you want to buy these lithium LTO cells. But these are the brand new ones, and these are really expensive. The Alexei has a bit cheaper ones. Some might be used, I don't really know. Ask from him, he knows it better. So what you need to know about these specs of these kind of LTO cells. First of all, really fast charging, up to 10 minutes in fully charged. These can take, I think it was 10 C. So if you're looking about C ratings, C ratings are how much of the capacity something. Discharge, I think it was 10 C. Sorry, I talked a little bit Finnish there. So 10C means you can 10 times of the capacity discharge and charge. So one cell, you can charge it from this is a 40 amp cell, so you can charge it with 400 amps. That is a shitloads of amperage, by the way. So you can charge this with a 10C rating, and then you can discharge it with 10C rating. But you also need to check out the voltage. If you are discharging these too heavily, the voltage can go really low. And it actually, I wrote here down what is the minimum of cell voltage you can have. So keep these in mind. Do not watch the C ratings and be like, oh, my battery bank can output. It has a 6 of these, so 6 times 400 amps. I can draw like a gazillion amperage out. No, that's bullshit. That is only a specification, tech sheet, and this kind of stuff. It will not output as much as the text sheet says. It will be somewhere there, and you can charge and discharge it with really heavily, but look at the voltage, as you don't want to overcharge or over discharge these cells, because they will break down eventually. Now, the LTO technology is probably the best at the moment, because it has well, the discharge was there. It has really good temperature, minus 50 Celsius up to 65 Celsius. So in car, in summer, inside a car, it can be around 70-80 Celsius at the best. It's like sauna conditions. So this will handle that also. It can handle up to minus 50 Celsius. That means in Finnish winter, when we have minus 30 degrees in here, these will perform perfectly. Always the lithium and every battery technology will be worse in cold conditions, but these can handle it. They will not break down, which is a really good thing, because we have minus 30 to plus 30 temperatures between the year in Finland. So this is really interesting. Very long time, over 30,000 cycles. Now, one cycle means that you charge and discharge. One cycle. So normal AGM battery, which you can buy from shop or everywhere, anywhere, have a cycle life of 2,000 to 5,000 cycles. That means roughly 2 to 5 years. I'm explaining this. Do not take well. Everything I say on this video is my personal opinions. I will show you these data sheets and this kind of stuff to explain it more thoroughly, but these cycle life uses and these are my personal opinions, so take everything what I say with a grain of salt. This is a disclaimer, because I am a hobbyist and a car audio installer, and I know a lot of these kind of technologies, and I've been testing them for a while, so I have some kind of experience with these. But everything, if I say that the LTO cells will last for 80 years and they last for, let's say, 15 years in your car, or 5 years, it does not mean that the technology is bad. It does not mean that I was wrong. It means that your batteries, with your charging and discharging cycles, your batteries depleted faster. So let's continue. So with a little bit of disclaimer, I will be continuing. AGM batteries, 2 to 5,000 cycles, which means 2 to 5 years. Lithium iron phosphate batteries, I think it was up to 10,000 cycles, which means 15 years, 10 years, 15 years of daily usage. Now I say daily usage because if you discharge this thoroughly and charge it thoroughly, with one cycle for every day, you will have a really long lifetime of these batteries and the lithium iron phosphate batteries. Because these LTOs have 30,000, and it means a lot. I will be explaining, sorry. I will just say that lithium polymer batteries, LiPo batteries, have a cycle use of 100 to 300, which means it can last like few months on heavy use. That's why they are really expensive. That's why they are really great batteries, because the output is out of this planet. It is really excellent output. But the cycle use is so bad that it will cost you more than these, because you need to replace them more often. So, what means very long time, long lifetime? 30,000 cycles. If you charge and discharge your battery once every day, fully drain, fully back up. Every day, once per day, 365 days a year, this battery technology will last 83 years in your use. 80 freaking years. Now, if you charge and discharge them twice a day, 40 years. 3 times a day, 20 years. So these will handle your system. These will be probably, these actually are the best you can now buy in your car as an invest for the future, before better technologies come out, because AGM will deplete or destroy really easily. And if you are using a, let's say, demo car or something like this, and you will be using these only on demo days and then will be just charging and leaving them on, it will last for a freaking human lifetime. That's why I love LTO technology. Now, discharge and charge, these are actually quite nice. If you are draining with 1C, that's 40 amps, it will show here how much voltage it will drain down. I can explain these more someday else, because these are really interesting data sheets and really good performing, but we'll continue to keep this video a bit short. These kind of well, we don't need much of this stuff in here. Only things that are really good to keep in mind is that you have really low internal resistance. Now, why people are using capacitors? Because their internal resistance is like out of this world. They are really good at it, at releasing charge, the capacitors, but they cannot keep the charge. The batteries can keep the charge, the capacitors can release the charge. They are meant to do that. So, with using capacitors, you also always need some kind of battery there to keep the charge up and keep the capacitors charge. So let's continue in here. Where are my markings? What kind of voltages you will be using to charge and discharge these? Now, the lowest minimum possible with 5 cells in series is 8.5 volts, which is quite low, but under that, no. 6 in series, what I'm building here, 10.2 volts. Now, that's a bare minimum of using a car. Car will start at 8 to 9 volts easily. Using 10.2 as an absolute minimum is really good for car and good for these batteries. But don't go there. Under 12 volts, but when you are playing music, under 12 volts is dangerous. So make a habit of cutting down the power from your car and charging it back up when your car goes under 12 volts. Then your system will last a lifetime. You will not break anything. Now, nominal will be 13.8. So when you charge these with a, the charge with the 6S is really high, not usable in car audio. It's usable in 5 series, but the nominal voltage will be lower. So you'll be always be under 12 volts. Now, when I'm charging these with 14.4 volts, like my Volvo has a 120 amp alternator, I will charge these with 14.4 volts. So it will be more than the nominal voltage, it will be lower than the charge voltage. Now, these will not charge fully. They are always a little bit down. Now, if you're thinking about lithium technology, the best way to expand your battery lifetime is to charge when your capacity is around 60% and charge up to 80%. Now, when you are using low and nominal voltage between here, you will have roughly from 12 volts to 14.4 volts, the 60% and the 80% area. That's why I'm using these in 6 series, because I'm always using 60 to 80% of the capacity of these batteries. That's why I'm not using 35 amperage, I'm using 40 amperage, and believe that these are only like 30 to 35 in capacity all of the time. These will not go fully charged ever, because I cannot charge my system with 15.9 without breaking anything, because I'm using a normal 12 volt car. So keeping that in mind, you will need more the amperage hour that you are planning, but then you will be using them in perfect range of 60 to 80%, which expands the lifetime of the battery. These will not see the absolute maximum ever, so this will not like break, or they will not see the absolute minimum and they will not break, which is a good thing. Now, that was a lot of stuff. Charging with a normal charger is easy. You can just put 6 in series and start charging. Just make sure you check out that all of the voltages go up at the same. So this 2.3, 2.3, 2.4, completely okay, 3.4, okay. And then when you discharge, they will try to balance it out a little bit in between. Now these batteries have one thing to keep in mind, why I am using now aluminium. I've made these aluminium bars between the cells because I'm using aluminium spacers, but using a completely normal, I think it's zinc, which is, I'm not sure if it's in English zinc, but these are normal like iron zinc terminals. These nuts what I'll be using, because the minus terminal here has a really low standoff. This plus terminal has much greater standoff, and I will be using a fully aluminium washer here to raise it up on the same level as the positive side. So when I clamp these on, it will have a perfect balance. They will be aligning better. So these are M12. I haven't seen anywhere that these are really aluminium heads here. So I don't know. But people say that this is aluminium. So using aluminium with aluminium, you have no problems. Using aluminium with copper, you have a electrical, well, now it's going into the words that I'm not really sure, but they are different electrical pairs of aluminium and copper. Thus, using in here and drawing a lot of current will allow corrosion to build up much easier. So corrosion goes and builds up and increases the internal resistance of the full system. Now, if you have 1 milliohm, 1 milliohm, 1 milliohm, you have total like 6 milliohms inside here, only the batteries. Adding these will add more internal resistance. Adding a copper will greatly increase the internal resistance of the whole battery. And then with the higher internal battery resistance, you will draw less current outside. You will charge less and draw less. Now, using multiple sets of 6 cells in parallel, you will cut down the internal resistance of the complete system. Now, if this has, let's say, 10 milliohms total, adding a second one with the 6S in parallel with this will cut it down in half, so you will have 5 in total. If you have 10 and 10, put it together, you have 5 total of internal resistance, milliohms. By using aluminium, you should be like searching for scrapyard. This is from scrapyard, from a grounding sheet of aluminium. It was like 2 meters long. I cut it down. I'm using 67 millimeters between the holes, because this cell is 66 millimeters in diameter. 66, and the positive terminal and negative terminal is always on the center. It is M12, so it is 12 millimeter wide. So I'm adding 1 millimeter between the cells to have some spacing, but really tight battery. These are 12.5 millimeters, so I have 1 millimeter spacing and 1 millimeter to wiggle up, because it's 12.5. It adds, because it's 2, it's 1 millimeter plus extra. So I have really tight spacing using washers, aluminium washers, and connecting everything into the aluminium to aluminium. That way you keep your system nice and happy, and use like 8 to 10 millimeter thickness of aluminium. So that's about it. I think I probably told you everything I know. There is something that I forgot, but as an example, sometimes I use this Cantal. It is a resistance wire. I'm draining the batteries with 1 ohm resistance into the water bucket, so I can easily, like, safely drain them with like 20-40 amps. Then I will be charging them with 100 amp Digital Designs charger here, just to check out how they work. Now I have 2 cells that are broken. I'm running out of time. This video is really long, so I will be cutting this out really soon. So one of the cells, this one I think, shows me 2.3 volts, but when I discharge it, even with 1 amp, it will go 0 volts. So it shows me that it has capacity, but it cuts out when I try to discharge. Having this kind of bad battery cell in your system will cut out the complete system out. Having a one that is cut out will destroy your whole battery. Not destroy, but destroy the output of the battery. With that one cell in my fully 12 cell system, 6 series, 2 parallel, I managed to cut out the whole system. The lithiums were never connected probably, and I had no use of them, no charging, no discharging, because one cell was internally broken. So the other cell that I have here is completely different system. It does not show any voltage, but it allows voltage to pass through. So this is short circuit. This is internally shorted. This is internally cut. With the 0 voltage lithium cell here, I can put it in the 6S system and charge it, but it will never show the voltage. It will never raise the voltage of 14 point something, because it does not have a one cell inside there. It does not have any capacity. Probably these cells are broken, like from the get-go. I don't really know, but when I get a replacement for these 2 cells, I will be trying to cut them down and see inside what is inside of them safely, probably. Not sure, but we'll find out. Now, thank you for watching. Thank you for asking for this video many times. So here it is. And if you have anything else to comment or question about, want me to make different kind of videos, like from the capacitors, when I get more capacitors, I will make a video about those. Like and dislike and share the video, because there's a lot of talking in this area and a lot of these really high-tech, let's say, high-tech videos where people talk a lot, but you really don't understand the easy principles of basic battery systems, like adding second, you double the voltage and this kind of stuff. Hopefully this helps you to decide what kind of battery technology you will be using. I hope it's LTO, because I really like LTO because of the safety issues, mainly of the safety issues, and then the temperature that it can handle, really cold and really hot. So thank you for watching. See you on the next video, and on lives. I'm on live on Friday and Saturday around 10 p.m. ETC +2, I think it was. If Finnish time, European, 2 hours past European Central Time, something. You'll find out when I'm live. Come and ask me questions in English. I will be explaining everything for you. I have some of English viewers and you are one of them. Thank you for that. And see you on the next video. Bye bye.